Hey there, this is Jonathan Hardesty, your lovable GM, and you're listening to Demon Dayz, an actual play podcast with a focus on fiends and the friends who play them. I'd like to give a shout out to our sponsor Arknight, whose props, maps, and minis make our game a delight. That's ARCKNIGHT. Also want to give a shout out to both Gordon McAlpin and KiloWhat, who have created some wicked cool art for our campaign. Check all that out over on athpod.com in our show notes every week. Finally, I wanted to give a shout out to Michaela Garrison, who edited this week's episode, and who generally deals with all our shenanigans in post. You can find her over on Insta at Michaela J. Garrison, and her dog Arrow over there as well at Arrow Perro. And now, let's get on with this week's episode.
Friends, fiends! An epic fight is an epic fight, and folks, we've got an epic fight aboard a flying death contraption. Have I told you how all flying ships make me nervous? Anyway, we've got a lot of ground to cover, and sweet ground. Sorry, we've got a lot of ground to cover, so hand me one ale after the next, and I'll tell you the exciting conclusion to this battle in these Demon Dayz.
Horatio gets his musket ready. He sees the barlgura coming towards him. Okay, his firearms knowledge is fine. He gets going again with it. He does. The musket again fires off with a lightning loud, or a thunder loud crack as another bullet shoots through and aims true on the barlgura as it's charging him. It's just like the bullet hits in the chest. The bullet seems to be hitting him and doing all right, but this thing has so much meat on its skin that it's still charging at him. And Horatio sets his feet down and he's just like, he's ready. And that's his turn. Now the starboard vrock is going to, as it kind of sets its feet on the ground and just starts to like open up its beak, and you start to see it stretch longer than it probably should for a vrock, as like the tendons of dark Ichor hold onto its jaw and kind of do the rest of the work for it. And just out of it starts oozing like this blacky mist thing, and this cloud emanates from it.
John, is this the same black icky shit that we found in the swamp? Like, is this like, does it look the same?
Yeah, it's kind of like it's a mix. It's some of that black stuff, but there's a tint of green on it.
Okay.
So this kind of darkish, blackish, ichory thing, this smoky thing starts to pour out of its mouth and billows into about a 15-foot radius. Has a toxic thing to it. Everyone within that would need to roll Constitution saving throw.
Is this a poison?
But we get advantage because...
Yeah, it's a poison.
Yeah, this is...
I know
this is a saving throw against spells. Is this a magical effect? Like, is it a spell that he's doing, or what is it?
It says here it's a form of spore, so it's like a toxic cloud. So I guess so, but it's, more of a poison cloud coming out.
So it's a natural thing. It's not really a magical thing.
Right, natural thing, yeah.
Okay, well, everybody still gets the +3 on their save.
That gives me a 21 Constitution saving throw.
You're fine.
Wow. 24 for me.
24? Okay, yeah, you're fine. I should roll for the sailor here. The starboard is... Poor sailor. Who else is in there? It was just you, Tazlin?
I rolled a natural 1.
Okay. So you take 5 poison damage at the start of each of your turns.
Awesome.
But you can repeat your saving throw at the end of each of your turns. So as the smoke starts to billow past, it does get to you. And that's its turn. The other ones are going to land its feet and try to attempt a spore. It's going to open its jaw even further than its mate, and just the billowy smoke will come out. It just... as it spreads out. And it doesn't say here, but those who are already affected by it, so like there's a crosshatch here with Tazlin and Yusuf. I think you guys, if you succeed, I don't know if you'd have to roll again. I'm going to say...
Well, I mean, it's a different creature, so probably.
Probably? Okay, then I guess roll again in that case. But in Tazlin, you've already been affected, so it wouldn't like stack.
Okay.
So
22 con save.
22? Okay.
Thanks, Yusuf.
Yeah. So the succeeders would probably roll again, but Tazlin, you've already got the same effect, so it's not like it's just more smoke. It's not stack.
Am I in this one, John?
Yes, Feder, you are.
Okay.
You're a much nicer DM than I am. I would make it stack.
Oh, yeah? Mm-hmm. I'm a nice guy.
Yeah, just a 12, John.
Just
So
12?
I think I am poisoned, yeah?
Yep. 5 at the beginning of your turn. And you can roll at the end of your turn to save against it. And yeah, the smoke gets into you and you just start to feel it pulling at your chest and constricting as it gets inside.
John, I only got a 13, so.
You only got 13? That one does affect you this time.
Okay. How much is it?
It will be 5 poison damage once it's your turn.
Are we rounding up or down for resistance? So if it's 5 and I have resistance, do I take 3 or 2?
For me, I favor the player.
Okay.
So take the 3. Yeah. Again, I'm a nice guy. I try. But I think it just makes sense. With all these extra things these guys can do, having so what? Round it into player's favor.
Fair enough.
The last Vrock will start heading for pops. Give itself a little bit of height and then go its distance and attack. Talons. Big.
Does Gallahan get an attack of opportunity as he's trying to pull away from him?
Yes, he does.
Oh hell, actually Gallahan probably needs a save for that too.
Yes. I just realized that. It took me a second because I was like, the dildo doesn't have to roll for anything.
I'm assuming it's affected because he's not an actual elk, he's a spirit, but I'm assuming he's still affected by it. Because it says use the stats for the creature, so. Alright.
Yeah, so just use the stats for the creature. And...
He's fine. He rolled a nat 20. He gives him the hoof.
Yep. You just see a hoof rise up and like...
He is going to try and hit him as he leaves.
Perfect.
Probably not. 15?
15 just hits.
Oh, nice.
So, yeah, the creature doesn't even get its wings to be able to like get enough lift to get up the few feet before Gallahan attacks.
Only rolled a 1, so he takes 4 points of damage from the antlers.
Nice. It's not, I mean, it does hit in. The creature kind of falters a little bit in its course to try and head towards the Daddy-O. He's going to do his beak and talon attack as he goes in. He shrieks as he's heading towards it, and even the shriek is garbled like it feels Feder and Yusuf. To you, it sounds sickly almost, like as it comes in, and the beak misses. Drago's able to like do a feint step as he gets, but the talons still end up being able to scratch into his back. Hits him for a good chunk, and you see just the flesh kind of tear from Drago's back as he shrieks like oh, as he's trying to head, because he's turned a little bit to focus on that barlgura heading for his captain. And that ends the Rock's turn. We've got Yusuf, and as my spell check said, Mirse.
I kind of want to go after this Vrock that's still next to us. Taz, how are you doing? I can neutralize that poison if it's going to suck for you.
I'm fine.
Okay. Yeah, I'll try to attack the Vrock that's still next to us.
Okay, sounds good. On the starboard side.
Yeah. Oh, actually, yeah, we'll see how this goes first. 19 to hit.
Oh yeah, 19 hits.
Okay, then the 23 does too. All right.
And the bigger number hits too, of course.
All right, fucker. First attack.
Let's bring on that world of pain.
Yeah. First attack is 22 points of damage. Second attack
Okay.
is 15 points of damage. That was terrible.
Okay.
2d6 and 2d10. I rolled 3 2s and a 4. Ugh. So 37 total.
As your sword hits in, it cleaves the thing in half. The extra damage is overkill at this point. The creature, and it splatters across this hole, and like a lot more ooze than you'd expect, just splatters everywhere, and chunks and bits of black goo and viscera line the thing, and that rock is down.
Now, you said it's similar. Does it come apart like the treant did that was being held together by this stuff?
Yeah. Like fused, so there's bits of creature fused together, and bits of the black stuff starts to evaporate as it's gone, but the rock parts, chunks, still remain.
Does it look like does it look like the Vrock was encased in this stuff to make it different, or was the Vrock pulled together by it, like when it formed into this plane?
bits of rock kind of form together to be a full rock based off of all this gooey stuff.
Do the spores go away from this one?
They don't.
Okay.
The blackness part of it does, but the toxic part, the poisonous stuff from the original physiology of the rock still stays, so you still have to roll for it
Okay.
as that part stays. But the kind of blacky, ichory, abyssal-y thing doesn't affect
That
it.
has a 19. Does that get rid of it?
Yes.
Okay, cool. Gallahan is going to charge the one that went after Drago.
Okay.
Damn it. Missed.
So the one that charged Drago, so on the port side, kind of middle port
Yeah,
side of the ship.
He goes to here.
Oh, it's that brown thing I couldn't...
Yeah, the butt plug. I'm done.
Okay. It's Lace's turn.
All right, first attack. I'm gonna keep at that portal, and I'm gonna scream close at it.
Sure. Do that, roll that 20.
14.
You still only take 1 damage as the jolt hits you again, but you're able to get it to the 3/4 closed, so it's just a little bit left. And it's like it really looks like you are sewing it back up to you, Lisa, as you stand there. It feels like a sewing thing. It's just so weird. Like the fabric of reality almost seems cloth-like in its thing. Something you didn't quite notice before at like Trost or and elsewhere. Just like this, maybe it's because of the wind or perception or being on a ship that's flying or movement. This does feel like you're sewing it back together. Things that cross your mind as you have it about the 3/4 way.
And then... Fuck. I'm gonna move around it. I'm gonna stay close. I'm gonna come just ahead of this little fella here.
Okay.
And then, like, I'm gonna take my fucking Staff of Thunder and Lightning, and I am going to shoot from it the lightning strike at the barlgura.
Sure.
So it's a beam that is 120 feet long and only 5 feet wide, so I'll miss Cadence and I'll miss Horatio. And he has to make...
You don't really need to miss Cadence.
It was more about missing Horatio, if I'm being honest. Like, if he had been 5 feet lower, I would have just gone for it. So he has to make a Constitution saving throw.
Okay.
Using your staff.
Yeah, I love my staff.
17?
17 was the DC.
Wait, is it a con save or a
Yeah.
dex save?
Con.
You sure?
That's what it says. It says much. Oh no, it is a dex
I
save.
was gonna say, lightning bolt's usually a dex or a reflex.
Yeah, it's a dex save. Change it. Sorry, my bad.
Do worse. Do
Yeah.
worse.
Make his dex much lower.
Yeah, because he's a barlgura. He's not very dexterous.
You're right. He's only a
He's got-
monkey. Shit.
Yeah, it does. It does put it under. It does put it under.
Suck my butt, monkey boy. So he is stunned until the end of my next turn.
Stunned till the end of your next turn.
Yeah, and then...
Fuck yeah.
That's all I can do for this round, because I don't want to get too far from this rift while I have my little staffaboo.
Okay. Cool.
So did you use the lightning bolt power or the thunder power?
I use the lightning strike.
Oh, I see.
Oh, he takes 9d6 lightning damage
Yeah,
on
I was
a
gonna
failed
say.
save as well.
I feel like you're
My
missing
bad.
something there.
Yeah, I am. Hold on.
Love you. Fuck it.
Thank
up.
you for that. Yeah, hold on. Let me just grab some d6s. Okay, let's do this first round. 14. And 30. 30 points of lightning damage.
Fantastic.
All right. Yeah, the lightning shocks ripple through its body and it staggers on its way towards Horatio and lets out a bellow, a loud, crackly bellow. It even affects his vocals. It gets shocked. And then Klekthaw will use his turn, So then Clickclaw is going to load a bolt for his action into the ballista, leaving us to Drago, who is going to turn to face the Vrock near him. And he is going to... He's got a... As part of being a swashbuckler type, he's got a multi with his dagger. He goes and swipes, takes his daggers out, just pops them out, and tries to swipe in there. Both miss as the creature just kind of undulates a little bit, just enough out of the way for the dagger points to miss. He curses, and he's still like, but also his back is arched from the pain of being hit in the back earlier. That's his turn. And as far as the crew goes, unfortunately, Lisa, you see the one that had sailed that was right next to you, starboard, near the hole that you're trying to fill. With that spore cloud, it wasn't able to like save against it, and he just starts gagging, and he takes damage, and he's fallen to the ground, so he's not doing so hot, but he's still alive at this point in time. And the other sailors within the other bubbles of toxic cloud, they all manage to make their save, and they just beat their chest like no. That leaves us to the actual ship operation. And since Clickclaw is at one of the ballista, he aims at the barlgura and tries to make his attack with it. Oh.
The barlgura is stunned, so is that an advantage, Lisa?
Yeah. Not that, I mean,
Kitty.
it still hits no matter what, but the advantage roll was much less. Ooh, kitty. Was much less. Let's see what he does. So yeah, it still hits. It hits. It just pierces right through the abdomen of the barlgura. Damage. Let's see what we got. Ooh, not too bad. Ends up being a 13 against it, and you see there was enough force in the hit that it's half through. It pokes out from the back, and it's like and so it has slowed its run. It's starting to really show its wear and tear and damage, especially even with the burning, singeing fur. It's not doing that great, which leads us to the barlgura.
Who's stunned?
And he is stunned.
Who's stunned?
And then, so that is it for him.
What a dummy.
Yeah. Vanessa's going to try to roll. She starts to put her hands on the cannon to get ready to charge it for another eldritch cannon blast. It doesn't quite charge up, so she's not able to get one going with it. And she swears, and that's her turn. Cadence is going to take her attack on the barlgura as well. She sees that it's stopped, and she gets like a light in her eyes and just a fire, and she takes her sword to attack. And that is... it just hits 15. So she's able to graze into the back tricep on it with her sword, her short sword, and yank it out. And it kind of like... its vocals are now seized up in its state of being stunned, and it's not much, so it's still only 6 or so damage, but it's now starting to even look worse. So it's faltering in its stunned step, leading us to Teslin.
I want to try and get some more Eldritch Blasts off. Let's see if...
Teslin, you take the 5 damage.
Yep,
of the...
already took it.
Cool.
I guess I will... Nope, that probably didn't make it. That's a 15 on the con save. No, 14.
You rolled a 14?
Yes.
Just makes it.
Oh, okay, cool. It doesn't want me to hit anything because on 2 separate dice I rolled in order 4, 4, 2, and 1. So headaches still hurt me, and bolts are just not coming out like I want them to.
Yeah, that headache, that split in the... It's fucking with you really hardcore this time.
Yeah.
Which leads us to Shenzo at this point, unless you have movement you want to make.
I will move a little bit closer to the mast. So in case maybe it's just a target thing, maybe, or I don't know. So I'll just move closer to the mast and just be angrily talking my hands, being like, what is happening? You're supposed to... You're letting me down right now. Actually, I personally, as a player, am just going to blame it on Drew, because last time he was like, Teslin's easily the most powerful of us, and see what you did? Just kidding. It's not, no.
I'll take that. But Yusuf is still wearing pants. And they're not corduroy.
They are a little furry, though. Shenzo is going to run and do the pounce at other oozy monkey that Feder is handling. And that is a 17 to hit.
That hits.
He needs to make a strength saving throw.
Yeah, well, my dice worked in my favor this time. Just a natural 19.
It's been working in your favor with me, period. Like, all the dice have hated me today. So he's going to do the same thing where Shenzo is just going to kind of like leap through there and swipe at him. And...
Like my dice must be in on it with your dice or something.
Must be. And the thing is that I'm using 2 separate sets of dice, and it doesn't matter if I roll for Tasselin. It's just I used it up on the drinking game. That must be it.
Yeah.
Takes 12 points of slashing damage.
Not bad. Yeah. The claws tear into its back and slough out, like tear off pieces of the black and ichory bits of it and parts of actual rock back, and it gargles out a painful cry. Thanks, Shenzo. Which leads us to Feder.
All right, so Feder's going to kind of look at the barlgura that's stunned and kind of bleeding out, look at his dad, look at the barlgura, look at his dad, kind of go, fuck. And then bonus action to disengage. I am going to run my 30 feet towards the back of the boat on the port side. I'm going to slide up next to the fucking moose and try to find the softest, meatiest part of this vroth that's attacking my dad and take a swipe at it. And that's 17 to hit.
That hits.
All right, and that with the Snorkatorque is going to be 12... 17, 19 points of damage. Come in and just take a big swipe at him and try to get the biggest chunk I can.
All right. Yeah. No, you do take a big chunk out of the back and just even tears into the wing a little bit, hobbling some of its flying speed as it shrieks and gargles. And this one sounds a little bit more closer to an actual vrock, with a little bit less of the gargle of the black ichor. And just like,
I take my 5 points of damage, and then let me try to beat that con save. Nope, that's a 5, but it's a 6. So I'm still just coughing and hacking shit up.
Yeah, that toxicity, like it's rough. It's clouding your chest, and as an asthmatic, I'm giving myself like flashbacks here.
Blech.
Your chest is like it's just a soup. Your lungs. Ugh. Anyways, now that I've lived through that again. Any other movement, Feder? That's it for your turn?
No, man, that's it.
Okay, cool. And then we've got Horatio, who is going to aim up again. The musket doesn't look nearly as big when he's holding it. This one, for whatever reason, either the stunned creature is just kind of wobbling a bit, the ammunition goes wide, and he misses. Horatio is like, God! And that leads us to the rock creature near the mast, and it's going to... Let's see, Shenzo's nearby, and the other sailor. Not many other people are there, so let's have him risk an opportunity attack, and it's going to take his movement.
If Shenzo and the sailor are flanking the vrock, would they both have those opportunity attacks at advantage?
Yes, do that. He's gonna go starboard, just past the rift, and Leysa and Taslin, and...
Did they get attacks of opportunity?
He's flying, so 30, so he's now...
Did you go over him?
He's over them, but not out of melee range, so...
Are they at advantage
Stay
since
here.
we're flanking him?
Right, but he hasn't left, like, melee.
He's entering into their threatened space for the first time, so it's not like he was there and left.
Gotcha.
Right.
He wasn't flying past us.
It's going to reach back its head and beak. You know the seagull meme or the gull meme where it reaches its back and just goes, ah! Essentially, this rock does that and tilts its head back much farther than normal. You can kind of see a bit of its neck hole as it leans almost to its back and gears up. And as it goes forward, it just pulls forward and lets out a shriek. And I need everyone within this range to do a Constitution save.
That's the starboard side rock, right, John?
Starboard side rock, yep. Now this rock is starboard.
Oh, it looks like Yus is right outside of it, though.
I am, yeah.
Yeah, you are outside of it, so you're fine.
I got
It's like ear splitting.
I got a 5.
Got a 5?
15.
15, Taslin, you're fine. Leysa, the sound is so piercing that it seizes you up, and you two are stunned in a similar way till the Vrocks' next turn. As it just like, it just, the sound is so piercing. Talzin, for some reason, you figured when it leaned back it was coming. Just something ear-splitting was coming, so you were able to at least brace for it, and you managed to not be too affected by it. But it was a bad shriek. And the other sailor, he didn't make it either. He's just such a low con for that. And he also seizes the barlgura is already stunned, but like it too is like it suffers from the shriek. And that is.
And what about Cadence?
Oh, Cadence, she too is stunned. Damn it. And so she's stunned. That leaves us the last rock, who's going to, you know what? He's going to risk opportunity attack from both Drago and Feder and
the moose.
And the moose. It's going to move out of the range, but we'll figure that out after you guys roll your attacks.
Galahad does not hit.
Okay.
I don't think a 12 hits.
No, does not hit.
Motherfucker, I rolled a 1. Oh well.
Okay, and then Drago, come on. Natural 20.
Yeah.
Let's see what he's got. He just gets one right in its blade, like shoulder blade, as he goes up, and it shrieks, and takes more damage. It's still, it hasn't been hit nearly as much as the other creatures, so it's still got some heft to it, but the dagger does stick with it, and Drago's like, fine, keep it, and let it stay in there. And he will, Vrock, now that it can actually move, let's return it back to where it was, so I can do this fancy thing. It's going to get up to about 20 feet and then 10 feet up from where the Eldritch Cannon is, closer to the corridor deck? Yes, corridor deck. It kind of has its sight set on. It sees, in its wild frenzy, Vanessa down there and goes in for a swoop on her for the remainder of its movement, and it falls behind the cannon. Comes in for the beak and talons. Thankfully, the cannon does most of the work in blocking it, as it both attacks miss. Just it dents into the cannon, and the talons try to grab at it and adjusts it and pushes it a little bit, maybe an inch or two, and Vanessa's just like, oh god, oh no. And that brings us to Yusuf.
You fucker. He's gonna move there. Oh god. Double 11s. So that's 2 19s to hit the Vrock.
2 19s?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Cool.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Alright.
Jeez. Gee whiz.
First hit, smite.
This fight.
26 points of damage. Is it still up?
There's more. Yeah. It's as your first hit goes into it, it's just like starting to falter. Bits are falling off and shooting like ricocheting off the blade and falling apart. So it's not doing so hot, but yeah, it's still around.
Cool. Second hit. Oh wait, I get to re-roll 1s and 2s because I'm that.
Yeah, of course.
Well, on my sword, but I rolled a 1 and a 2 with the 2d6, so that's good. Oh, that's much better. 9 is much better than 3. Okay. 39 points of damage for the second smite.
Whew. Oh man, most of it starts to fall away, and I would say even it's still up just barely. It can't fly anymore. It lands on the ground, and most of its wings have just shred off from just the amount of force from your last hit. It's in the single digit. It's
bloodied.
Anyone who hits it next, it's bloodied beyond, like it is ready to go. It's
okay.
Moose's turn, and then after that, Squirrel.
Moose and Squirrel. Barlgura is still stunned, right?
Yes.
Good. Nat 20.
No, he shouldn't be. He shouldn't be because my turn ended.
Oh, your turn ended, so then no.
Oh,
he's not.
Okay. Well, I still critted.
Sorry.
No, it's okay. I'm still hitting him with a 25.
You still critted?
So, he's charging.
The barlgura. Oh, okay, yeah.
The elk is charging. I rolled a nat 20 with him. So, he's critting. So,
aren't we all?
Do
no,
2d6 for the regular ram. That's 9, plus an extra 2d6 from the charge. She's 8, so that's 17, and he needs to make a DC 13 strength save, or he's going over the side.
So that's what a 30. But that you double that, right, Drew? Or did you already draw? So 34 points of damage.
Oh, right, because I guess I would.
Because you did an 8. You did a 9 and an 8, right?
Yeah. Well, I guess if I'm actually, since he crit on the charge, is it an extra 4d6 instead of an extra 2d6? Because if I'm charging, he takes an extra 2d6 points of damage because of the charge. Because I'm charging 20 feet in a straight line. His normal ram does a d6 plus 3, but that hit is doubled. Do I double the charge as well?
So you want to know if we're adding an extra charge, an extra d6 to the charge?
If the charge is doubled, that's what I'm curious about.
Okay. To the charge, it probably isn't doubled.
Cool.
The ram would be. Yeah.
So what'd I say, 17 points?
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, 17 points of
It
damage.
was 9 and 8.
Of the gore. And then he needs to make a DC 13 strength save.
All right. First, I'll show you, and then I'll explain for the audience.
Oh no!
Yes.
Amazing.
Fuck that dude.
I rolled a 1.
Bye.
Fuck yeah, elk, get it.
That dice is going in the garbage.
So he is knocked prone, but since the trajectory and the fact that he's up against the side, does he go over?
Let's do this, because essentially between your attack, Yusuf, and Galahan's attack, that was enough, just completely enough as it is. So not only does the ram obliterate him, he starts to die essentially and start to fall apart, and starts to liquefy goo and start to pull apart. The push over sends him over the edge, and before he even gets down past the bottom of the ship, he's just bits of black goo and viscera. And you hear the growl roar go as it goes over, and then it just becomes gargled, and then nothing. And he's gone.
Bugger is gone.
Yay. Fuck him.
Yeah, Galhan just... he snorts.
Yeah, then that brings us to Leysa.
Well, I'm stunned, so...
Because it was let me double check the stats on that, because it's stunned until the end of the vrocks next turn. Okay, yeah, so you're still stunned.
Yeah, just chilling.
Cool. Klekthaw's going to ready another bolt. And that's his turn. Drago is going to take his... We went over to the... Nope, he's not going to phase into the cannon. He's going to walk up to the vrock that's terrorizing Vanessa.
This motherfucker steals my flanking. I'm going to be real annoyed at him.
Okay, cool. You're going to be really mad at him. Okay, respectable. Yeah, he gets another blade in, and just in an anger just tears and pulls at the wing a bit, and the rock lands onto the cannon itself just to hold on. Its flight reduced, and it gargles out a cry that is a really awkward sound. And then for the crew's going to do what they can. They're going to advance, but they don't have enough to really do much. But they're coming in to do support if they can get there. Now Klekthaw at the ship with the ballista. He's going to try and angle it, because he can see with his aiming the top of the vrock, and just misses. And the bolt goes by, whizzes past everyone, and hits and sticks to the mast, the lookout post. Just sticks to it. And it misses everyone, and everyone's just like, whoa, okay, what? You're stop firing in the ship, bro. And then Vanessa, she's going to, since the cannon is compromised, she's going to reach her hand out to the vrock ahead of her, and you see a bolt of fire just form and shoot out as she aims, but she's in kind of a panic because this thing is so immersive, that overshadowing and overbearing, that her bolt goes wide out into the sky and doesn't do any damage. And then Cadence is next. She's still stunned. So then it is actually Taslin's turn.
Well, I hope my hands get their shit together.
Get that shit together.
Well, that seems to be better. 22 to hit the oozy monkey.
Yeah, 22 hits the
That's-
Oozy Monkey.
Still over by me.
Yeah, on the starboard side, near Leysa and Yusuf.
And the next one is a 24.
Yes.
All right, you better have your shit together too. First blast is a 12 damage. Yes, 12.
Hell yeah.
Second blast is 15 points of damage.
Complete obliteration as your attack hits and decimates the thing.
Awesome.
The Eldritch Blast just tears that thing to ribbons, and bits of black and rock bits just splatter everywhere in a blaze
Yeah.
of light. And
Then I'm going to move forward. So 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30 over by Gallahan's ass. That'll be my turn. Then Shenzo is going to take his full movement over here, and that's all he's going to do.
okay.
He's going to move towards the Eldritch Cannon, and that's it.
All right. Then Feder, it's your turn.
All right, Feder comes running up, hops up on the quarterdeck, not in flanking because of his dad. I hope you rolled with advantage, Dad. But he's still going to take his 2 swipes. First one with the sneak attack. First attack was a 19 with the Black Onyx Dagger.
That hits.
Then I am going to do, and that's with the sneak attack, is not great, but that is 12 points of damage.
Nice.
And then I'm going to take my second attack is a 15 to hit, John.
That does hit.
All right, and then that is a fantastic. That is a 4 plus 3. That's 7 points of damage on the second hit. Swipe.
Not bad. You're able to basically render it unable to fly at this point, but as each attack just tears at its tendons up at the back of the wing, and it shrieks and lashes out, and more bits start falling off of it. It's not looking so hot.
That's my turn.
It's your turn?
And oh wait, hold on. I took my 5 points of damage at the top.
Yep, and then roll.
Let me see if I rolled. Nope, that's still a 3 Constitution save, so I'm still coughing shit up.
It's still, yeah, the poisonous part's still, itching at you. And then we got Horatio's turn. He's going to move his to the edge of the rail on the quarterdeck and aim the musket downward towards the Vrock's face.
And half of his crew.
His aim is true. Gun goes off with a Pearson. Everyone, like Drago and Vanessa, just instinctively like, oh god. And the Vrock takes the hit full in the face and just kind of like, it's not dead, but it's getting close, and its neck starts to detach a little bit. It's kind of like wobbling and trying to hold on now with everything it can. And it brings us to said Vrock, and in a panic and lashing out, it's going to do its beak and just a beak attack at disadvantage. Oh, still, even with the disadvantage. So it still ends up swiping, getting a good gash across shoulder down for about 10. And she just, you see immediately just a gash, it tears at the shirt and a spurt. And she's like, ah! Shrieks. The Vrock's turn, which means the stun effects for everyone is worn off by now. Which brings us to Yusuf.
He moves to it. That's a hit.
Bummer.
20 points of damage.
Okay.
Still up.
Just barely.
Second attack. Also a hit. 17 points.
Still 17?
Yep.
Well, that, my friend, is enough. And you cleave it in half. And as it falls, the bits just mean that someone's going to have to clean that Eldritch Cannon for hours to get the bit of viscera off of that. But it is dead.
John, as soon as it falls, I want to jump, pull the empty potion bottle out of my pocket, and I want to try to scoop up some of that fucking Ichor.
Yeah?
And just so I have some of it.
Just add a dexterity check to your thing, because combat is effectively over, so quick dex skill check.
John, I still had 5 feet of movement left. I'm gonna start moving back towards the portal to help Leysa close it. So just another 5 feet.
13.
I'm gonna keep closing
Yeah.
it since he's dead and I'm not stunned anymore.
Yeah, the Feder, you're fine. You're able to get a little bit of in there, and with the air gone from it, it doesn't seem to dissipate or leave or anything. It's just you've caught some essence of that. And Leysa, do you get another roll?
It's Constitution, right?
Constitution, yeah.
That was only a 7.
The jolt is a bit harsher this time in this last bit, and you take 3 damage, and it moves a little bit. You're not getting much sway on it, so you have another chance to go again, and by about this time, Yusuf would be able to get to you.
Yeah, I'm gonna
give you some sort of assistance or advantage.
Is it okay if I do it with advantage, Drew?
What is it?
I'm making another con save, or con check.
Because advantage or boosted, because Yusuf, you still have your aura, right? That adds to any skill check, or is it just saves?
Oh, can I get over to her before she does this?
Before she gets the second one. The first one didn't go, so she didn't get very far with it. So she's gearing up to do another one. And by about that time, that's about a round. So 6 seconds, yeah, you're there.
Gotcha.
If you're hoofing it.
Literally.
Too pleased with that.
Yeah, I'm to her. Lisa, are you still taking damage from the poison?
No, I never got poisoned.
Oh, okay. You're just doing the...
No, she survived it. She's taking damage as she's doing this with the gemstone and the staff.
Oh, right. Plus
that part of the process is giving her some damage.
So you have a +3.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, so she had that +3.
That still only gives me a 9.
This last little bit, it takes a little bit more than that. Take another 3 off as it jolts you, and you move another, a little bit. You've got about 10% left on this, and this last little bit it's fighting back. It's starting to try and open more again. It's fighting back against.
Well, so attempt. The cool thing about being a monk in my order is that if something dies near me, I can pull its life force, and since one of those demons died near me, I've got 10 hit points. I can keep doing this, so I'm just gonna go.
I can do this all day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
For sure.
John, since I'm there, I'll throw a hand on the staff and we'll Guardians of the Galaxy it like we used to last time.
Okay.
What does that give me? Do I get advantage or?
You're still just getting the 3 from him.
Well,
from his aura.
that's 14 points, or that's a 14.
Yeah, it closes up. With Yusuf holding on to you, you do absorb some of the shock of that, so it's about a hit point. And Yusuf, you do take some of that too. Just you feel that shock and it hits you, dings you a little bit.
Gotcha.
And it closes right up. And the funny thing about this is, as it closes back up, you see the weaving fabric. It just zips back up, and the boards look like they've never been they've never been ruined, they've never been wrecked or destroyed. They just restore to what they were.
So Yusuf, Fetter's stumbling towards you like the first zombie of the movie. With just his eyes almost swollen shut and just blood pouring out of his ears, mouth and his nose.
Oh.
And he's going,
yeah.
Oh, God.
What the?
Come here, buddy.
Yeah, Feder is in rough shape.
Come here.
Draco runs over there too, oh my god, is he gonna be okay?
Give me 1 second. So I'm going to cast Protection from Poison. You touch a creature, if it is poisoned, you neutralize the poison. If more than one poison affects the target, you neutralize one poison that you know is present, or one at random. For the duration, which is 1 hour, he has advantage on saving throws against being poisoned and has resistance to the damage as well. So if there's anything left, he should be able to fight it off.
Cool.
Okay.
How many hit points do you have left, dude?
I'm down to 21.
21?
Okay,
So then I guess
44.
roll again, since you rolled. Were you able to roll the save again?
No, let me roll. I mean, I didn't. I just went stumbling towards. I just took 5 points of damage and stumbled towards
Yusuf.
Yusuf.
I cast that spell on him, so that poison is neutralized.
Okay. So then we're good.
Yeah. Were you only poisoned once?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. If you were poisoned, it neutralizes the poison. If more than one affected it, then it got rid of one at random.
No, I only got it once.
Okay. Cool.
And then I just put my back up against the mast and just kind of slumped down.
He'll go ahead and dump another 10 points into you.
Fantastic. Thanks,
Cool.
mate. Fuck.
Yeah, everyone left on the ship, they all just do a collective slump down similar to Feder. Just you hear across the board, just slump. Fuck. God.
Who else is hurt? The dude that dropped, the first guy that dropped on the port side, is he still alive? I'll move over to his body.
Portside sailor died. The one near Lesa, near the starboard side, he was still kind of clawing at his throat, and he's hanging on but barely. So if you want to get to him, you got a few moments to do so. He's just scratching at his throat, and it's raw.
Same thing. He's poisoned as well still.
Sure.
I'll cast a protection from poison on him again, so it goes away.
Cool. Almost immediately, just it starts to work, and the skin is still red where he was clawing at it, but he breathes a little easier, and he too slumps down. Oh, fuck.
I'll give him another 5 points as well.
Lisa, how did that feel closing that thing up? Same, or was it different? Was it new?
little different with this cool gemstone. It felt a little,
Easier?
I don't know if, I mean, it's still really hard. I don't want you to think it's, like, easy, but it was cleaner.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, that's something.
Like, there's no, like, everything's okay where the portal was, you know? I think if I'd gotten there earlier, maybe that barlgura wouldn't have gotten through.
Yeah. Yusuf, these things, I mean, I'm thinking back to the things we saw in the swamp.
Yeah,
I mean,
it
feels
very
like
reminiscent. Taz, do you have any idea what's going on?
I have none. All I know is that the towers, I guess, were some type of beacon, but it's not like we're in a tower right now, so I think they're just...
This black Ichor,
yeah, I've got some. I managed to hold on to some.
but I mean, like, this wasn't part of the other portals, was it? Those were just tears.
They were just tears, but it's not on the portal, it's on the things.
The maw demons had that ichor, though, too.
Yeah,
It makes you sad.
didn't they?
Right, but the vrock is the bird creature is a fairly standard foot soldiers in the Blood War, and this one seemed, I don't know, different, like corrupted, you know. And I know demons are demons, but there's something else going on. I don't know. Vanessa, do you know anything about? Is this something you could maybe analyze the substance, try to make sense of it?
As you guys were talking, she made her way slowly over. She's still grasping at her chest, which has got a nice little gash in it. She's not as bad as a lot of people were, but she's still holding on, and you can see the blood just kind of pour down. She stares at you guys for a little bit and hears what you say, but her eyes are a little glassy.
Is there anybody else that's hurt really bad?
No, Vanessa got Drago does have a bit of gash on the back, like he got a big gash on the back, so it's just Drago and
Okay,
Vanessa
I'll give her 5 points and him 5 points, and that's all the rest of my healing I have for the day.
Sure. It does enough to kind of get them in a good place. You see, Vanessa's gonna have another good scar across her body, but it's fine. It's fine. She's got other scars from cutting herself all the time, but she breathes a little easier, and she kind of blinks her eyes a little bit and focuses on Feder. Yeah, I can take it. She reaches out her shaking hand. I can take it and take a look. And that gem you used, Lysa, you can keep that. I'm going to test some things. Can I convene with you in a couple days on this? I want to test something. And that was weird, but I have a theory. And she ends the conversation and starts heading slowly and gingerly toward her quarters.
Because let's think about this, gang. I mean, there was a barlgura present in the aftermath when we woke up, right?
Yeah.
So, I don't know, maybe the cult is somehow almost like a third party, right? Like they're not actually summoning demons straight from the hells or straight from the abyss. Maybe there's like some sort of intercessor, some sort of middle third party. You know what I mean? Is that crazy?
I hear what you're
Possibly.
saying. I mean, it's not completely unheard of, but where would this come from? Is this...
I don't know.
I think we need to figure out what this goo is.
I don't know. Yeah. But like the barlgura obviously was there the very first. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. But I always assumed, waking up that it was just abyssal. It just straight abyssal. But now I don't know. With everything else that's gone on, I'm not so sure. I don't know. I might be crazy. I just had fucking half my blood knocked out of me. But it can't be. Something's different. Something's weird.
I don't think you're crazy, but I think we all need a rest before we can sit down and talk about this.
Yeah. Sounds good. And I'll just kind of slump back down. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, Shenzaban nuzzles up to Haslin with a worried look, worried expression, just kind of nuzzles its head at you and just tries to make sure you're okay.
I just give him scritches behind the ears. I'm actually surprisingly fine. I didn't take much damage, if any.
Gallahan is also, Gallahan was with Yusuf, and he checks to make sure you're okay as well. Even though you didn't get really hit at all, he still displays worry and walks up to you and makes sure that everything's good with you.
He walks out to me. We kind of knock horns.
Nice.
And I give him a little rub on the front of the forehead. Take one last look around, make sure we're all clear, put the sword away, help where I can.
The crew starts their cleanup work, and Horatio is quick with the thanks to make sure he thanks everyone, you guys, one by one. He even does his part too to make sure that he can help. And the crew is, despite being banged up a bit, in general, they're all very helpful of each other and helpful of you guys too. And before long, you're able to find some rest and basically take the rest and break you need to survive. And even at some point, Yusuf, you're still, and Feder even, you guys are trying to do chores and help out where you can, but a few sailors are even just like, no, man, no, thank you guys. This would have been much worse. Thank you. And there's a sense of like, you guys did good. And they let you be. They don't demand.
Of course, my thought is like, it wouldn't have happened if we weren't here. So.
I mean,
right.
It's true.
I'll walk up and kind of wrap my arms around, an arm around my dad's shoulder and be like, let's go get some food and some drink, yeah?
Yeah, I hear the return voyage is a pretty good drink.
Boof.
He laughs some more and...
Here, the dog just knocked me off a cliff.
Yeah, and the two of them head down to get some food and drink. And yeah, the rest of the day, unless otherwise, goes without too much of anything. So as you guys go into the next day, there's still some worries, still some concerns, but you survived.
These tears in space and time are starting to get worrisome. They're not getting better. In fact, I think they're getting worse. Here's hoping our heroes find the information they need down south. But that's it for me, and it looks like you're out of drink. But I'll be back to tell you more about these demon days.
Sometimes I just gotta check that I'm still recording.
Yeah, we'll check down there
I'm
too.
doing that as well.
Recording check. Oh, unless you have more movement, or are you staying
Oh
there?
no, I'm staying there because I want to finish closing this hole.
Always be closing. That's how Lisa do.
God.
That's too similar to what you have. Okay.
I can't see the one that you're putting on. Maybe you have to save it first.
Yeah, I'm still not seeing anybody
Yeah, I
else's
can't.
auras or anything.
Oh, here we go. Here we go. Can you see
Yes,
it?
now I can, yeah. How did you do that?
Hey, how
Okay.
about it?
Yes.
Under the settings, under advanced, on the basic, there's basic and advanced on the tab for the token. You can like change the like your own permissions and things like that. You should be able to see aura, see and edit, unless you can't see that, in which the case I would have to do that.
Yeah, I don't have that. Unless that's like a pro or advanced feature.
Yeah.
Oh,
How about that?
Now I can see yours.
There you go. I had to do it.
Oh, okay.
I did not realize that. Okay, cool.
Can you see
learned
mine now
something
too,
new.
Johnny? Or no?
Oh boy, it's so exciting. I see all these auras.
Nice.
So many auras.
I love these tool sets.